All right, hello everyone. What's going on? My name is Vince again, and I am the main guy, main developer, I guess, for the game Feed Me, CBN Media. Um, and basically, I just wanted to give you guys a behind the scenes type deal. Right now, I'm at my home office where a lot of the work was done for the game. And so I just want to talk about some of the things that went into it. And I believe a lot in transparency, and that's what I wanted to get into. If it wasn't for that, other people and other guys out there sharing some of their knowledge, I wouldn't be where I was today. So I just want to give back to the community. I know that much. So I want to talk about a little bit as far as the planning. First of all, what we used, what we did to get into it. I know for myself personally, I love my little handy dandy Moleskin, and a lot of people have their own, their little sketch paper, pen and pad, or whatever they use. But I have a lot of sketches I put on here into the CBMU Media Flickr account. That's where I started with that, just coming up with some concepts, writing down ideas, just jotting down what I had, what I wanted the game to do, and everything like that. And that's basically I put into that just a lot of weird sketches. So that's what we did with that. But then also I want to talk about basically there's I live in Florida, so there's me here, and then the other two guys, Mike and Brandon, they're actually in Connecticut. And so basically, what I did to tie us all in together, I used Basecamp and Skype and also Dropbox. So they're three key tools to kind of help us work pretty seamlessly. Especially because of our schedules. Our schedules are way off the mark. Me, I have a day job during the day, and I was doing a lot of stuff at night. And then Mike, he works at night, and he has the time off in the day and the afternoon. And then Brandon, he was going to school. He's my little younger brother. He was going to school during the day when this was actually, in session for him. So we were just absolutely all over the place. So it was just amazing. If you actually have a lot of planning and structure and you organize everything, you can actually still get stuff done no matter where you are, how separate and how far away you guys are. And again, those tools were what we use with Skype for video conferencing back and forth, just communicate what was going on. Dropbox, instead of emailing and stuff like that, specific files, Mike and everyone, these guys, they would draw the sketches and send them to me, and we could use Basecamp, which we did use for the times that we weren't actually on for a couple hours talking to each other and making the comments back and forth. But the Dropbox, put them in there, I get the files right away, and it's like, hey, there it is, and I can utilize it for the game. Basecamp again was great because when we weren't there together all the time, these guys would upload some files, the artwork. I would see it. I would make my comments if I liked it, if I didn't like it, what I want to change, stuff like that, and incorporate it into the game. And then like I said, if I didn't like it or if I wanted to modify it, have them see the comments, and they would come back in and make the adjustments. So it worked beautifully. It worked great. Everything worked seamless on that end. So those, as far as the organization and things that we use to get the actual game going and moving. As far as the actual tools for what we use, two art guys, Brandon, he was just pencil and paper, just doing the sketches and things like that. And Mike and myself, as far as the artwork, obviously Adobe has that market on lock. Photoshop, Illustrator, it's the two biggest things that we were using. And then myself, as far as the main thing itself, because I am a developer, but at the same time, it's been a very long time since I actually dealing with Objective Code. And so I want to talk about that because there's an engine out there. What we use, Unity 3D is what it is the engine that we actually bought into to make an iPhone game. I tried to look into Objective C, and it's a pretty steep mountain to climb. If you want to make an application, what we do plan on making in the near future, it's not that bad, and it was actually pretty decent to learn into and stuff like that. But if you're trying to make a game, it was a bit overwhelming not being in the Objective world for so long. And so I just wanted something that's a little easier to get into. And so I did a lot of research, a lot of gaming engines out there, a ton of things. And Unity engines, what I came across, um, amazingly powerful. It was actually voted Develop magazine and their online presence. It wasn't really voted, I guess they just mentioned it. Out of the top 10 gaming engines that were out there, it was number 4. And which means something because if you play any other games, on the Xbox, PlayStation, stuff like that, a lot of these other top 3 that came before it are, big name heavy hitters. We have the Unreal Engine, which is number 1, Gabriel Lightspeed is number 2, and then the CryEngine is number 3. So all these big heavy hitters, then you have Unity 3D. So it's not anything light by any means. And so I definitely did want something that's powerful to take advantage of later on, but just something that still had a nice curve into it, and that's what they actually offered. Basically, you can go into it if you come from any web background or if you know scripting. Personally, I came from web and also the Flash arena with ActionScript, and that's what you kind of go into it. They call their scripting Unity script, which is very similar, they say, to JavaScript. And so if you know that, you can get into the scripting arena. And so it was actually a lot less of a learning curve. To get into it, I loved it, started playing around with it, and bought the Indy licenses. Obviously, it's not cheap. Check it out, Unity3D.com. Great engine, I loved it. And if you plan on making a game and you don't know anything about code, obviously, I wouldn't really say go to them right off the bat. Is pick up something, learn some code, because you can't just make a game without knowing anything. But they are a good place to start because it is a little bit less of a curve than trying to just pick up an Object-C book and think you're going to do everything in Xcode. It's not that simple. So that's what I said. And obviously, my personal choice for developing my code is a thing called TextMate. Great little application. They have their own little thing. I actually forget what it's called. I didn't really like using it. I just take the script out and then I brought it to TextMate. They have, it's a really good text-based editor and things like that. I don't know. So that's actually what we use, what was going on. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys enjoyed the game coming out in the future. And it has been submitted. We're coming up on our first week of Apple reviewing it. They can take, who knows, 2 weeks, 2 months. I mean, I haven't heard any crazy stories about being 2 months, but it's Apple. It can take that bit of a time. So again, I just wanted to give thanks to all you guys supporting us on Facebook and everywhere else. And we do have some things we want to upgrade, obviously. So we're probably going to have upgrades right when the thing is actually, finally approved. We'll probably have some, things. So we have some. I want to talk about some play modes. Right now we have the basic 3 things, but I definitely wanted the system in the game: the land, air, and sea. That's what I wanted. That's what we got. And then, so on the next upgrade, we'll have different play modes per each of those main levels. So we'll have some of those in there. We'll have some bonus games. We're also going to be working on actual character animations. That was a bit of there's a lot going on. There's only 3 of us, so it's going to take some time. So we're going to get some of that in there. It should be fun. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys grow with us. Love it. Love everything we got to offer. CBMUmedia.com. Check it out. See the whole team. And I think that's about it. All right. Thanks.